Fame is a drug, and I've been bit by this before, particularly after fights. You've got all this attention, your personal world. It could be your neighbors, your friends, your people see it in the store, your phone's going off, your social media. Regardless of the outcome of the fight, when the fight is over, that you're sitting in silence, and it's one of these things where you need that drug and you need that fix. I have gone to Twitter and put out a tweet of a level of ridiculous that I normally wouldn't have done just to get attention for it. That's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to tell you that. But it's true. And I do see Conor trying to get that narcissistic supply. I see him going out and getting headlines and saying whatever it is to get some interaction going on social media.
Yeah, I mean, he's making that push for the president of Ireland. You know, we'll see how true it is, how real it is, how much of a publicity stunt it is. As you guys can see, obviously, you know, we had the tough 31 deal, waited for Conor for a little bit, got the fight booked, he pulled out of the fight. Who knows if he's ever coming back?
He made Michael Chandler wait all that time, never fought him. Charles Oliveira seems, or was saying he'd rather fight Conor McGregor than even fight for the championship.
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira now openly goes, I think it's over. Bro, it feels like everybody is kind of coming over to the side of, I think Conor McGregor's done.
The money he made after he fought Floyd, you know, made $100 million fighting Floyd, then came back defending belts, making really good money. He got rich, started his business, sold it for a couple $100 million. Like Marvin Hagler, it's hard to wake up and run those miles when you sleep in his silk sheets. That's true, man. I don't know if he's ever going to come back. You know, I was his last 2 fights.
Yep.
That was years ago. He still hasn't fought.
Yep.
I just think he's one of those guys who's addicted to the limelight. You know, he just wants to be in the mix.
If we were sparring, I wouldn't hit you hard. I'd hit you like that. I wouldn't try to kill you. I'd hit you like that. But that over and over again, you're gonna get brain damage.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're gonna get brain damage. And if you're doing that over the course of a 10, 15-year career, think about all those camps, all those rounds, all those times you sparred. So you've got consistent trauma to your dome over and over and over again. And then you get a little bit of coke, and you're feeling good again. Yeah. I bet, you know, you get addicted to it. And the guy obviously likes extreme things, right? Which is why he's such a great fighter. They're wild people. That's why John Jones liked cocaine too. They're from wild people.
I've been saying the dude ain't gonna fight again. I've been saying it for a really long time. I think it's more likely now than ever. He's in the White House being a politician. I liked when he juiced up Trump. He's like, man, I can't do an Irish accent, so I'm not even gonna try. But he was like, I like your work ethic. I'm inspired by your work ethic. Like, he was juicing Trump up. It was awesome. Conor was, he was the man of the Irish people. Like, do you remember some of those early fights? How many, like, the whole damn country would come to Vegas for when Conor would fight. It was insane. And then kind of like people kind of got sick of his act, and you know he's always just up to shenanigans.
Remember he got in the fight with the old guy? Remember he hit
the old guy? He punched the old guy. That type of stuff. But now he's going to be a hero of the Irish people because you know he's going to be a populist leader for the country of Ireland. It seems like that dude's getting elected president next go round.
Bro,
for sure he is. He's going to be is it a president, prime minister? I don't know what they have over there. That man's going to be the prime minister of Ireland next time around. Bank on it.
I don't know that Conor can spell politics. I do know he has absolutely no interest in politics. But for the last 4 days, he's been going to be the president of Ireland. From what I'm told, the one place in the world that does not like him is the place he's going to be president. I mean, this is just silly, right? We're just being silly. But it feeds a narcissistic supply. So you can take it with a little bit of a grain of salt.
Do I think he'd be a good president? That I'm not too sure about.
I don't know either. Yeah.
I do know that he'd be able to beat the shit out of every president there is, though.
He was of course to meet President Trump, and then he went to like a meeting room, and he was talking about bad stuff on Ireland, right? He was talking about how like illegal immigrants are taking over all that stuff. But one thing is for sure. I think he is going to be running for a office. I don't know What do you think? Because by far he's the most popular athlete in UFC history.
Yeah.
Yesterday we saw that, right? And doesn't matter if he's involved in some controversial stuff, people still know his name. And the problem with democracy is that if you're very popular, people gonna vote you. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Listen, anybody can be anything that they want to do in this life. That's a proven thing. And if Conor could clean up himself and clean up kind of some of the things, because when you are a politician now, you're not just for yourself, you're actually for the people, not just for yourself and your family, but for the people. So I think there's a lot of things that he needs to clean up there. But yeah, I think anybody can be anything.
I'm not here sticking up for Conor McGregor. I'm not saying anything good. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not criticizing. I don't think he'll probably become Prime Minister of Ireland, but, you know, whatever. Fair play. Free world that we live in, should be. And if he wants to give it a go, he can give it a go. But it appears that the left-wing media are going after him pretty hard.
If Conor McGregor could get his shit together, that he may have something. He may have a political career, maybe in politics. Obviously, you know, he's got to get them. He's got to really clean those sticky hands of his, you know. But other than that, if he could do that, I mean, he could be a guy that could make a difference. And particularly if you're mentor by President Trump, dude, President Trump would do something like that. Conor McGregor does want to make a difference in Ireland, because Ireland's economy is bad, bro. Like, it is bad, man. Crime has risen, and not just that, but even immigration, bro. It's like, it's almost like the Irish people feel like they're becoming the minority.
And I don't live in Ireland, you know, I live out in America now. But the sentiment from what you see from a lot of people is that there is a lot of problems with immigration and over-immigration, and people not necessarily assimilating into the system, and a lot of crimes being committed, right? And I don't think I'm saying anything controversial there.
The safety of Dublin, immigration issues, all of these things are relevant. You know, they are conversations that are happening in Ireland. However, it's the issue of him being put across as nearly a diplomat, being able to speak on things like this, getting on the dais and speaking about the country being in a bad place. Like, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that, but it's the fact that Irish people look at this, they're used to seeing our head of state meet the American head of state on this day, and instead it's McGregor, a guy who is one of the most controversial figures in the country, is largely an unpopular figure. We have seen his stock being taken off the shelves of major supermarkets across Ireland and the UK since he lost his civil sexual assault case to Nikita Han in November 2024. It's not so much about what he is saying, it is about who is saying it.
But to be a politician, he wants to be a politician. I think people in Ireland don't even like him, Chill. Like, everybody I speak to are like, they can't stand this dude. But I guess he feels like he has enough support to go into politics.
And now entering the octagon, the notorious President of Ireland, Conor McGregor. What fucking right I will. Of course, are you crazy? That's part of why I want to do it. To be announced as the President of Ireland having a fight. Imagine that. But you know, for sure. Hell yes. Hell yes.
I argued with you. I argued with Ben Askren. I argued with Michael Chandler. I have been doing my world tour of arguments saying that Conor McGregor is coming back. Last weekend, Conor McGregor says that he's now going into politics. Bro, sadly, I'm finally ready to say it's over. He's done, Chill. It's over, my brother.
Look, if you decide to go into politics, go into politics. But my personal opinion is, I think you need to step away from the spotlight, period, and focus on your wife and your kids. That's my personal opinion. Spend more time showering your kids with your attention.
Yep.
Just being present. If you want to be involved with more charitable organizations, if you want to be involved in helping to do things for the public in your community and your country, there's a lot of good to be done there. He's just chosen not to be in that part yet. And so he's going to need to step away, I think, for a bit, not reinvent himself, but show everyone that he's ready to be presidential if that's what he wants to do later on.